The whole point of rice is to be simple, but the problem is most people are using the wrong rice. They're grabbing that nasty parboiled stuff that, yes, it probably shaves time down by a couple of minutes, but it absolutely lacks flavor. Today, we're going to be making sure that this rice is absolutely packing a punch in flavor. So first we're going to start with a good round of fat. Now that fat could be straight oil, like a shortening or something of that nature. Me, just because I'm blessed here on the farm where I got lots of animals, typically there's animals all behind me, we have lard. So I'm going to use just a couple drops of lard to get it going. There we go. And don't feel like you're shortening it either. Get this pan scorching hot. We're gonna bring it up to a near smoke point like it's doing right there. And then we're gonna start to add in our rice. So I just added about 2 cups of rice. And now here comes the important part. Your tendency is going to want to be to just go ahead and add in liquid. This is jasmine rice. It's very, very aromatic. It's actually gonna start to smell a lot similar to popcorn as we cook it. Key with this though is to keep it moving. And what we're doing is we're starting to build up and kind of brown the rice a little bit. We're gonna hold off on like our low temp fats like butter until kind of like the last minute. So don't feel like you gotta, I would not go in straight in with butter. Butter is going to burn by the time that the jasmine rice is toasted up and smelling delicious. There we go, just keep it moving. If you don't feel comfortable, you know, giving it the old toss, you can obviously come in with the flat spat. Doing private events, I've worked in so many homes that don't have something as simple as a flat spat. Flat spat's where it's at. Fortunately, so many people skip to the cheap and easy stuff that they really miss out on a lot of this flavor. You're really developing in. We're gonna add some, a little bit of onion and garlic to it as well, just to kind of make it just a little bit over the top. If you don't have both of those, that's fine. I'd add one or the other. I've always got onions around, so I've always at least got just a fine chop of onions to go in. Now this process typically takes 3 or 4 minutes. I'm using this electrical burner, so it is taking a little bit longer. So please note this has more to do with this electric vessel than it does the actual cooking process. So we're starting to see some nice color over on the rice kernels. That's a good sign. That's exactly what we're looking for. Again, the key is just keeping this stirred. You don't want it to completely sit there and only burn on one side. We're not making like a weird paella or anything like that. We're here to just put some color over on the rice, really bring out the accent, the flavor, that butteriness that you get from jasmine rice and basmati. So I don't know if it's really possible to see it really on the camera just because of the lighting. It's too beautiful to be inside today. So we're set up outside. So the lighting is a little bit different than what we're used to, or a little bit more controlled light. But hopefully you can see that we're starting to caramelize the rice kernels. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of onion. Start adding in, start letting that sweat in. And then I am gonna add just a pinch of garlic. Now it's all about just kind of sweating the onions and garlic. We're not really wanting to put a ton of caramelization on it. You can, but it's not really necessary to have to do so. Now it's getting about time to start adding in our liquid. Got a couple different options. This is chicken stock. Obviously you could use what you've got in-house. Maybe all you got at your local market is the boxed chicken stock, or maybe the paste. That's perfectly fine. I like good old-fashioned chicken stock made in-house. I'm that much of a foodie. It's my inner chef. I can't help myself. We make chicken stock here on the farm. So we do 150 meat birds 2 times a year. And that gives us all the bones we need to make probably over 300 quarts of chicken stock for the year. All right. Smelling good, looking good, and sounding good. Now at this point, you should have an overwhelming smell of but basically what's like popcorn. It's really buttery, like theater popcorn. And now you're starting to get those hints of onion and garlic. We're toasted up very well. It's just a nice, even, light brown coat. We're not, you know, really putting like a strong caramelization on the kernels. It's more about just getting it nice and coated with a light brown. That's why we're constantly stirring. Now it's time to add in our stock. So again, this is chicken stock. I need just a drop more. I want it to be about 1.5 inches above that rice line. And at this point now I'm going to start to add in my butter. Oh, yo, there we go. And a little bit of salt and pepper. All right, now some people are going to want to start to cover at this point. We're not wanting to cover. We're going to give it just a slight stir just to make sure we got liquid in between all the kernels. So we're going to bring it up to a boil, and then we're just going to keep it on high. I promise you this is going to work. All right, so we've reached a critical stage in our rice cooking. Most of the chicken stock, about 80% of it's been cooked off as far as extra layer goes. You see these bubbles right here? That's letting us know, these fine-tuned little bubbles, that's letting us know that we're about right on par. So we're gonna do something, and hear me out. It works every single time to have super fluffy, fluffy, fluffy rice that's not undercooked or overcooked. We're going to put a lid on it, turn it off, and then we're gonna let it rest for 10 minutes. Don't touch it, don't stir it, don't do anything to it. Just let it sit here for 10 minutes. Finally, our rice is completed. It's been sitting over here off to the side for the last 10 minutes, completely untouched. So the big reveal. Looking absolutely delicious. So all you've got to do is come back in and look, just fluff it up. Is that not fluffy, delicious, perfect rice? It's officially time for our taste test. Let's give it our test. Absolutely spot on. All we're needing is just a couple drops of some salt. If the wind will put it in the right direction. This rice is absolutely perfect. All we needed was just a pinch of salt. You have that buttery back flavor. You can taste the chicken stock, the onions, a little bit of garlic. And it is absolutely perfect texture. I hope this helps. Again, my goal here was to let people understand that the rice is simple. It's made to be super easy and simple to make. The key is just a few steps in understanding which rice to use and the technique and how to cook it. You can have delicious rice right out of the home without all the complications. For now, this is gonna go right on top of our red beans and rice here. So make sure you click over here to see this video on how we cooked this beautiful red beans and rice. And if you're like, oh, Jonathan, I don't really do red beans, don't worry. I got a whole nother playlist over here that YouTube is recommending for you. So make sure you click over here. We have lots of amazing videos built just for you. We'll see you next time here on Deep South Foodies. Thanks, Elvis. We're in Mississippi, so of course our rooster is named Elvis.